All right, and we're live. It's 8:30 here on the HODL Review, and we're live with Bubba Shipes, and it's trivia night with Bubba. What's up, Bubba?
Good evening. This is Baba Ganush. How are you?
Bubba Ganoush.
I'm from southern India. I don't know. That's my best. Sorry if I offend anyone. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to be funny.
Coming all the way from India. Are you from Bombay?
I'm from southern India, whatever that would be. Yes.
Oh,
So hopefully everyone's doing well. I'm saying prayers and keeping my fingers crossed for all you folks down in Florida. The
appreciate
storm.
that. We got some guests here that want to get in on the live stream for trivia night. You guys coming out here for trivia night? Come on out. Come on, let's go. Where are you guys going? You guys are gonna be back? All right. They popped their head in here for a second, and they're gone just like that. XRP Minute is the only one on so far that I can see. Yo, trivia time. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I'm there.
All right, you know what I've seen, Bubba, is that YouTube is slow to register the people as they bounce into the room. So, we are going to...
Yeah, exactly. You went live and you weren't even showing on my screen. I refreshed it and finally...
Exactly. Yeah, man. It's Google's kind of screwy. YouTube's kind of screwy. None of it. So I'm just going to throw this out now on Twitter. So for everybody that's logging in and watching this on the restream, you know, we're going to have a nice trivia night. We're going to be doing XRP Trivia with Bubba tonight. And we're doing this every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's awesome, man. How was your week? How was your weekend so far?
Mine has been very good. I've gotten a lot accomplished and talked to a lot of good friends and actually unwound, and it was good. It was good.
Nice, man. That's awesome. So what's the good word?
Well, the word is Tuesday, because Monday the market's not open. So tomorrow everyone's got off and it's closed. So I'm kind of like half bored. I'm hoping crypto does something over tomorrow just so I can at least have some fun.
Yep. Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, we're going to have some fun. We're definitely going to have some fun this weekend. We've got Monday and Tuesday with Dorian. How great is that? Dorian's coming to visit, and we can't wait to see Dorian. I'll tell you what.
Hurricane party.
The hurricane party. We already started the hurricane party last week. So I know XRP Minute. Chip is kind of in the slight danger zone. Fortunately, we're just in the watch zone as this thing keeps migrating, but the thing's slowly churning out there over the Bahamas, and everybody's watching and waiting. And it's just I'll tell you what, you know, waiting in anticipation for a party to come is just man, I just want the party to be here already.
Yeah, you just hope they're not too wild when they show up.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty awesome anyways, you know, when it is here. So have you ever been through a hurricane? Bubba?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been through a hurricane?
I have. That's what I was I grew up in Florida. So
oh yeah, that's right.
A few of them actually, and they're not fun. I mean, no matter how secure the building you're in, it's still an uneasy feeling, to say the least, when you look out a window. Just don't look out a window if you don't have to.
Right.
If the window opens up for you, then you're gonna have to look anyway. So you'll deal with it then.
That's right. That's right. Were you here during Andrew?
Andrew, you have to give me years. I don't keep up with that name. I had one named after me, and I had one named after me, and I have no idea what year that was.
Bubba.
I love.
Was it Hurricane Bubba?
No, my legal name, but yeah, it was one of these things where I left. We'll say 90s, and prior to that, I was little. I don't really remember their names.
Okay, all right. Andrew was the big one that destroyed an entire part of Miami. There wasn't anything left after it was done. It was the hurricane to set the stage for all hurricanes.
I know. I would say safely 64 to 91. Anything in there, I was there for.
Okay.
I was definitely there.
All right. Nice. That's awesome. So we got a couple of people bouncing into the room already. We've got Legendary over here. We've got PC Beats. So there's nothing not scared when you grew up in it. Yep, see, like that? Nothing like home. And so that's it. It's just when you live through it, you expect it. XRP Carolina's on. So we're getting a few people bouncing into the room. We got some visitors here. I actually have a guest audience watching on the other side of the camera. So we got a live stream. So it's awesome. But
I'm digging the shirt.
Here we go. Oh, thanks. Yep. Look at this, and we got matching blue tonight.
Hello.
Hello. Hello there.
Yep. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Just watch the stuff around here. So, all right. So we got a couple people bouncing into the room. I want to kick it off. There's a ton of stuff, Bubba, that's been going on in this space. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing as great as OTC, because OTC is going to launch soon. But then we realized it was Labor Day weekend, and then Hurricane Dorian gave us a complete setback. So we're gonna have a launch of OTC pretty soon, and I think everyone's gonna be pretty excited about OTC. But in the meantime, what about the XRP news? What have you heard about XRP over the past week since we talked last?
Just more of everything that people are talking about with the PNC stuff, and I like the SBI Ripple Asia, SBI Asia. Oh my God, I can't think of the name of the company. Not Senfrin, one of the pay companies. They had a piece of news with that I was really into. I can't think of the name. Expendable, we spend. I forget how it's.
Oh yeah. What is that one? Yep. You spend, I spend, we all spend.
Right.
Yeah, one of those. But what's up with MoneyGram, man? MoneyGram is making some huge progress. What are your thoughts on MoneyGram?
Well, I'm playing them on the option side, and I haven't bought the actual stock, just the options, and I'm loving them. I'm sitting on some $5 options. They're almost there. Come on, a little bit more.
Yeah, man. MoneyGram made some big moves. I'll tell you what. So when it comes to real world utility, and you see what the impact of Ripple can be, Ripple, XRP, however, whatever mix up you want to call it, but it's really Ripple that got involved and invested into MoneyGram, that's using the XRapid platform. But look at the stock. So I mean, so you're playing options on MoneyGram. But where was the stock before Ripple bought into it? It was what, at $1.80, and now it's sitting nice over $4.
Right. I think it was like 2 something that all before, right as that deal was coming out or whatever. I believe.
Yeah. Yep. So you're sitting there, right around right around the $2 mark, and then and so now we're up to to a nice movement on that stock, and that stock movement is all because of what? It's all because of Ripple. So what are your thoughts on that? Give me some feedback on what's going on with MoneyGram and everything else.
Well, I could be wrong on this because I'm not in the company, Ripple or MoneyGram, so I don't know what they're actually doing. But I have a sneaking suspicion, being I play the stocks and crypto, that XRP, they may have given them part of the original 30 million upfront of that 50 million that they invested in MoneyGram. Maybe they did, I don't know. But it looks to me as if since that deal was announced, that somebody has been steadily buying up. I think if you look at the volume from then and now, what the volume has been steadily, and there's been that slow, steady climb, not making splashes, not drawing attention to yourself, just a nice, and I'm wondering if that's how Ripple is investing in a MoneyGram, saving them from a share point, instead of just giving them money, maybe buying their stock up, which we know. And then we have the option, as I believe it was written, to spend another 20 million, right, in the future.
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's
if
pretty impressive. I definitely think it's impressive.
it's crazy for a little company, I say little company, who knows how big they are in actuality, but a startup crypto company that Wall Street doesn't even recognize, right?
Right.
To put out that kind of money and made such an investment globally, not just with one company, with multiple companies, with universities, inspiring young people to think and new coders, developers to get on board and give them a job, if you will, pay them for their work and do what's right like that. I think that's awesome. They're
Yeah.
they're just a well-run company in my view, and I don't get paid for them. They don't send me even popcorn to eat while I'm watching movies on them.
That's pretty hilarious. Yep. So anyhow, so we've got, let's see, some interesting comments here. Yeah, we've got legendary. The MoneyGram Q4 report will launch their stock. Can't wait. And that is true. There was some big news coming out, and it was interesting too because if you look at the MoneyGram financial report, they just gave a big report. Not it was last week, I think. And they built in Ripple and the whole Ripple component, which includes XRapid as a big play with the overall, in terms of their financial growth moving into Q4, and they're anticipating a huge Q4. And so that really tells me, the one thing that I look at for this space is utility, and MoneyGram is proving utility, and MoneyGram is proving utility to really to prove the use case overall. So it's one thing you're using, but if they're utilizing the RippleNet solution, they're using XCurrent and they're using XRapid, and they're able to prove the case that you're able to move currency at a very rapid pace, but then you do it at a very low cost. And
Right.
that's what they're reporting back, and that's everything. That's what utility is all about. What are
Right.
your thoughts on that?
Well, I think you could be onto it. I'm kind of dreaming, if you will. Nothing to make this concrete, but I'm dreaming that in reality, the SEC rules don't seem to apply to us, right? They don't have any really about the crypto world and how companies are supposed to be run yet. Just don't rip off people with money. Okay. So let's say that CEOs, leaders of companies are at will to talk to each other and say, hey, you know what? I'd be interested in buying you outright, but we don't want to just do a straight out purchase. We want to give you some upfront, let you build your company up as it stands, use that to bring attention to our XRP token. And then when the time is right, we'll announce that we've actually purchased you and we are one network now and you are our use case. So
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
man.
hoping that we own them outright. And I also want R3. I want us to take
R3.
over R3 and buy them, merge with them, something.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're just
That's
bored.
interesting. Yeah. What are your thoughts about R3? Yeah.
I,
Before we get into trivia, and I wanted to keep this to like a 30-minute. Let's focus on trivia, but we start talking about other stuff. What do you think about R3?
I love them. I'm seriously, the last few weeks, I've really been digging into them deeper and looking at their connections. And like I've said before, the Africa connection, I love that. They're working with that Marco Polo company. And they're working with the largest bank in Africa. There's so many good things going on with Corda and the development funds that they're trying to do for coders. Again, you inspire people when they're young and they're smart and they have ideas. They just don't necessarily have the job they like, or maybe they're not working in the type of work that they really want to do as far as coding goes. I understand there's different types and things that you can do, and some like one and not the other. So
Right.
maybe matter where they get the chance to do what they want, make a decent living at it, and change the world, revolutionize the way that the blockchain works, and
Yeah.
improve it.
Exactly. Yep.
I
Exactly.
love the mindset of all these companies. They seem very, I don't know if the word is community driven or whatever, but they're willing to back people and do what's right with some of their profits instead of just being fat pigs. What do they say? Hogs. I don't know. There's some stupid country saying I should know, but about pigs get slaughtered. But I mean, you look at Chris Larson, the dude is multiple rich. I mean, he's stupid rich. I've been reading this past week about he and his wife who donated $25 million to their college alma mater in order to inspire people there and help. I mean, I'm sure in some cases it's not all as beautiful as it feels on the outside, but there's probably some tax breaks here and there for people. I don't blame them, but when you're at that level, you have to do something, right? It's smart.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Use the
Exactly.
laws.
Exactly. So, all right. So let's get into this trivia because I think we have some great trivia questions that are posted, and maybe give us a little bit of a background on trivia. I think it would be interesting. Yeah, let's kind of ramp into it
Wait, you said give you a little background on what?
on the trivia.
Oh, of tonight's questions, or
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. What are we
if
gonna
you,
be? Are we gonna
if you
go
want to
straight
know
into
how I learned,
XRP, or what are we gonna? What's the
right?
primary focus tonight?
So everything that Bubba does any week is going to be based upon factual information that can be found on either RippleNet, our partners' websites, a quick Google search in most cases, or Brave or whatever your search. I like pre-search myself. If you're not familiar with it, pre-search will pay you a portion of a coin for every legitimate search that you do. Those coins can be used for advertising, blah, 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 whatever. Go to their site. I don't work for them either, and they don't pay me, but I'm giving you financial advice free. If you take it, well, that's your fault. But listen, I think it's cool. And everything that I'm doing is based upon factual stuff. And I'm just trying to use different tidbits of it to get people to actually look at some of the websites and read for themselves who's involved and what deals they've done. And you can get a real warm and fuzzy feeling from Ripple's website to me, the way it's laid out, and everything is there for you to know. I just went on looking earlier today for information for tonight's trivia, and I did not use it for the record, but I was looking at the entire escrow explanation that is posted there, how it's broken down, and links to the documents. And it's such a whirlwind difference to so many companies that you look at nowadays from a stock market view. You don't have that transparency. You don't. You got to go read a 10Q, a 6K, or an 8K, or something that they filed with the SEC, and then you got to try and go through that database. It's a pain for the average investor, and it really is. It's not as easy with stocks and options as it is with crypto. For transparency of Ripple,
Right.
can't say
Yep.
that about everyone else. So it's not that I'm endorsing all of crypto, but I think the
Yep.
ones that are being transparent like that and legit have a future. People will invest in them much quicker than they would a fly by night corporation you can't find any information on.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So, all right. Good deal. So we got a small group here tonight, and we're going to kick off. How are we going to do this? 5 questions again?
Yeah, we're going to do the same thing where the first 4 questions are worth 5 XRP each. And the last question, the 5th question, will be worth 10 XRP as a bonus. And then you will be sent that at some point, hopefully this evening. And if you're not one of the regulars, but you are on Twitter, if you don't know us or whatever, your first time here, just post your Twitter handle with the little at symbol in front, which what you use on Twitter. Post it so that we can make sure we send you your XRP.
Awesome. All
We're
right.
here.
That's it. That's how we're going to get it going. So we got DNI in here. DNI is asking, are we safe in Florida? And actually, we just got another announcement from the Weather Channel just now that said that Miami is now safe. The next county north is Broward County is now considered to be safe, but is still kind of in a we'll see. So still in a tropical storm watch mode. Really nothing has changed all day today, and everything which is Palm Beach County north a little bit is in a warning, a tropical warning, and then Melbourne north is in a hurricane warning. And so as the hurricane kind of bypasses, and time will tell because we'll see what happens tomorrow, but as it stands right now, we're hoping that the hurricane moves off the coast, it'll hug the coast and go out into the ocean. If not, then the next landfall possibility would be Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. So I know those guys up there are preparing, and so let's hope that that everything is good with them. XRP Minute is in Palm Beach County, and still it's not 100% safe up there. But the thing is, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with power outages, etc. So anyhow, so we'll be thinking about everybody.
I think we know. I think we know what's going to happen, folks. Bubba's talking here now. This is not to be taken seriously, all right? But I do know what happened. It's heading towards the east coast of Florida, and all them leftists out there, they hate Trump, and they were rooting for it to go to Mar-a-Lago and wipe it off the map. Well, Trump just had another executive order, I guess, and he wrote it up and said, "Nope, you're turning." That's what he did. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, down here it's surfing weather over the next couple days. So I'm kidding.
So, yeah. Hurricane surf party.
Right. Citizen XRP. I'll take earthquakes and volcanoes over hurricanes. I don't know. The hurricane we can prepare for.
I hope they get it right and don't give people the false sense of security too quick, though, and something happened, that storm turn, So
yeah, that would suck. So yeah, so we're staying vigilant of everything that's going on, and it's been waiting now for a couple days, seeing what's going to happen with the turn of this storm. So with that, though, there's no hurricane when it comes to XRP trivia, and so let's jump into this, and let's start out with the first trivia question of tonight, and this is worth 5 XRP.
Yeah, that's right. It's just a whirlwind of excitement here, not a hurricane. So tonight, the first question, worth 5 XRP, as Jeff stated, is what type of an algorithm does XRP use? When XRP is being used to transmit everything blockchain related, there's an algorithm used. There's a specific name for that algorithm. Who can tell me the name of the algorithm XRP uses for 5 XRP?
The algorithm used.
Yeah, so the other thing I did think about with the SBI was the press release that was put out about their subsidiary was going to pay shareholders dividends in XRP.
Oh yeah, how do you like that? That was pretty awesome.
I think that if that stays true, yeah, that sounds pretty
well,
good.
Here was the question that I had with that, though. They're giving out 30 XRP, but we know that in order to open up a wallet, you need 20 XRP to open the wallet. So does the first dividend payout, is it only really worth 10 XRP? Even though it's 30, but the individual only gets 10? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, the numbers, I don't, to be honest, I'm looking at it as great press and a great incentive. I think it's only going to be, could be wrong, I think it's only going to be offered in Japan, if not just Asia.
Yeah, probably.
So that is, I'm waiting to see. Good for them, and I get it. They're trying to, what am I saying? Spur on business. We do have a winner for the record. Not to change that issue.
Was the answer Yeti coin?
VTech Steve got it. The correct answer is
VTech Steve.
It is the consensus algorithm.
VTech Steve with consensus. VTech Steve needs to send over his Twitter.
He does. That's exactly what we need. The Byzantine consensus. Legendary sounds like they probably know it on the other levels too there, but a little late, sorry. Now, okay, so hopefully we'll get his Twitter handle soon and we'll write it down so we can send the XRP to him.
All right.
And the next question.
Let me write that down here. VTech Steve, and we're waiting on the Twitter. All right, make sure you have an XRP tip bot registered as well, because that's how it's going to be paid out.
That is correct. So the second question, worth 5 XRP. Who is the senior vice president of Spring? Spelled XPRING. Spring.
Spring.
So who is the senior vice president of Spring?
That's another good question. The senior vice president of Spring. And Spring is a Ripple initiative, right? It's a nice Ripple initiative.
Yes, absolutely.
I think so.
I do love that. There's so many. It reminds me of Bill Gates and Microsoft, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, things like that. They give back Woo! We have a winner chicken dinner. We are going to be sending 5 XR Beard. And even Beard, I was surprised to learn, has a background of working with Facebook apps and Google apps. Seems to have his foot in the door with those 2 entities. So if in fact Lieber ever did anything other than a white paper, who knows? Maybe he would have a connection going on here.
Hey, talking about Facebook, someone posted earlier on Twitter that that MoneyGram, you now pay through Facebook. That there's a MoneyGram app or something like that within Facebook. Is that true? Have you seen that?
I did personally receive, because I use PayPal.
Okay.
And you definitely can. I've not read the details, nor do I plan on using it, because I don't even go on Facebook anymore. But I do know that that is true. It's being touted as true. I don't know if it's live everywhere yet, but it is in fact true.
Interesting. All right, that's awesome.
Totally.
And that you've heard it here first. The one and only Bubba.
No, him in my email. Somewhere else first. I'm just repeating it.
Right. All right. So question number 3.
All right.
Let's get it.
Question number 3 for 5 XRP. We all know that Ripple has a partner named SBI Ripple. Where exactly, and this is a 2-part answer, I want the city and the country. Where is Ripple, SBI Ripple's headquarters? Where is their main office located? City and country, please. City and
Japan, Tokyo.
Yeah, I have to give it to Carl. He didn't type it today. He didn't type it together, but he is correct. It is in fact Tokyo, Japan.
Tokyo, Japan.
Sorry,
Carl Lewis.
Yeah, and I don't know. Is that Holly Molly or Holy Moly?
Holly Molly. Looks like Holly Molly.
Yeah, I bet Holy Moly was taken.
Yeah.
Where they spelled it. Sorry. All right. So congratulations, Carl Lewis. Instead of cracking jokes, he's cracking the bank open tonight.
Oh, wait. Carl Lewis doesn't have an XRP tip bot. So the question is, Carl, do you want us to send that 5 XRP to you? Or is that 5 XRP going to somebody else?
Yeah. So either private message Jeff and give him a XRP wallet to send it to.
Yep. And we're still waiting. We're still waiting for VTech Steve to throw over his Twitter so we can get him his 5 XRP as well. And if for whatever reason you don't want it, then let us know and we'll shoot it to somebody else, the person of your choice.
Yeah. Carl says he's going to get a XRP
Finally. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's really funny because I'm just going to say it. I don't care. I have nothing to hide. I have been using Alex Yeats the last couple of weeks to create some avatars and banners for the Crypto Camper and all of that. And in doing so, I went to send payment to him in XRP as a thank you. And I literally could not type it before I hit send, and it was there. By the time I said, he's like, "Oh, thanks, payment came." I'm like, "What?" I said, "Damn, I didn't finish typing it to you. That payment sent." It was so quick. It was really funny.
Hey, so VTech Steve doesn't have Twitter. So how are we going to handle non-Twitter, non-XRP tip bot holders? That's a great question.
Have XRP I don't know. I have to have Twitter or Reddit or Discord, right? Isn't that the third one that you can use it on?
That's correct.
Reddit.
Yep.
Discord or Twitter, you can be sent XRP through that. So if you have any of those, let us know. If not, do you have XRP at all and have a wallet that we could send it to? Or how do you want to get it? Or do you want to donate it to some cause or what? You let us know and we'll work with you.
Just let us know. And David is asking, what is XRP? I'm assuming that's a facetious question. You're here and understanding the dynamics of XRP, which is only the best digital asset right now with the best utility in the banking space.
That's awesome. That's funny. Now, I don't know if you saw it earlier on Twitter. Somebody apparently went to write our friend RTB and they mislabeled his address, got it wrong.
Uh,
And the guy replied, he goes, I don't know why all you people are writing to me. I don't know. Jungle Link had something funny to say. I forgot what it was. I was cracking. Oh, he goes, oh, well, this is a good time to learn about XRP or whatever. And he started telling him about XRP. I was like, this is too
that's awesome. That's awesome. That's how we recruit new people into the viewing sphere. So sincerely, George just jumped in. Dansky just jumped in. Little late, but you know what? There are 2 questions left. So, and if you're lucky, then you might be able to answer one of those. Send a wallet address, Citizen XRP, if you want to DM Bubba Shipes or myself with a wallet address. But if you don't have Twitter, I guess you're gonna have to just plug it in on YouTube, and we'll grab that and send it. Sometimes I think it might be difficult to copy and paste off of here, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get it to you. The Crypto Camper is on here as well. CryptoCamper@gmail.com, if that helps. Whatever, we'll get it to you. Yeah. So I'm going to do the 4th question now.
Always, you want to email it too. Hang on. So VTech was wondering if he can email it. I think is really, if he can't tweet it and can't put it in YouTube, then maybe it should be emailed over. If you want to email it, you can email me directly if you want. It's still the HODL Report at gmail.com.
There you go. Cool. We will get it to you if it takes a carrier pigeon.
We'll figure it out. Yep.
We'll figure it out. No doubt. Okay. So the last question, worth 5 XRP each. There was a letter written in July by Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse, written to Congress. And in that letter, they used a term that we all talked about and read about for a while. But Brad Garlinghouse said, not to, please do not paint us with a what? What did he ask Congress not to paint us with as far as Ripple and the cryptocurrency issue right now that Congress is looking at?
A good question. Wow. That's a great one.
Winner chicken dinner. It would be Citizen XRP. The correct answer was broad brush. Please do not paint us with a broad brush. Very good. Very good. Nice. I'm glad people are aware of this stuff. It's awesome.
Nice one.
Yeah, good. Broad. So, Citizen XRP, I'm thinking you are on
Carl Lewis, oil paint. Do not paint us with oil paint.
You're, Carl, you are too funny.
That's hilarious.
You run too fast. All right. So the last question is going to be for 10 XRP, and it's going to be tricky how I read it. I'm going to try, because you can give me one of 3 things as an answer.
Andrew Nation, what's up?
Andrew, I said hello, buddy. He's got
invisible.
Stuck in his ear. He didn't.
Andrew Nation, the invisible one.
Yeah, the invisible one.
I beat him to the punch. Beat you to the punch. Andrew. Okay.
We have a consensus of 2 screens that don't say that, but okay.
Yeah, you're not invisible, Andrew.
I said hi as soon as you came in. All right. So here's the final bonus question of the evening, worth 10 XRP. So as most of you know, Ripple has a section of itself called Ripple for Good. It's the section that deals with what I would consider the charitable side and different foundations they work for and help out.
Bitcoin.
What is one of the 3, or who is one of the 3 partners that Ripple for Good has? If you can name any of the 3 partners, you win the 10 XRP.
Craig Wright.
It's no.
Not Craig Wright? You sure?
I'd give him to John McAfee before I give him to Craig Wright.
Yeti? Who is Yeti?
Yeti. Oh no, that's a
Yeti.
different
Bill Clinton. Who is Hillary Clinton?
Marvel trend. No, so far it's good guesses, but it's not correct so far.
That is a
Actually,
great
I'll give you
question.
a little bonus hint. One of them was actually discussed in a video clip that recently made the circles of a late night talk show host, Stephen Colbert, talking about Ripple. And Bubba ding, we have a winner chicken dinner. I don't believe it. We do. I'm impressed. So the three partners, one of which, WildStar 1063 got right, is RippleWorks.
RippleWorks, good one.
RippleWorks is one of the partners that Ripple for Good utilizes for their charitable goods. The other one, Stephen Colbert talked about donors, what's it called? Donors choice. I can't read my own writing.
Donors
Donors
choose.
I think.
That's what SG just said.
I slandered that one, yeah. And then the third one is actually the University Blockchain Research Initiative, and they've helped about, well, over 30 universities so far. So
nice.
cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. So there's
good job, WildStar.
5 questions. We got VTech Steve for 5 XRP, WildStar 1063. Question number 2 and question number 5, you get a grand total of 15 XRP. Man, that's huge. And then we've got Carl Lewis for another 5 and Citizen XRP for another 5.
Correct.
Nice.
Yep.
That's
so
awesome.
When they send you that stuff, if you'll just forward it to me, I will get the XRP out. And gentlemen, ladies, whatever the case may be, I'd just like you to know, if it shows up from the crypto camper, don't be alarmed. It's still yours. You get it free. That's mine. So I made a transfer from there
Nice.
or from the Beacon Depot, I think is the one Bubba Shipes uses.
Yeah, or from the HODL Review, one or the other.
Oh, there you go. But they'll be coming in. So congratulations. I commend you all
Windfall.
for knowing something. And, you know, Andrew, I got to tell you, buddy, 2nd place. That's first loser. You did very good. You were right there, man. Right there.
That's it. That is awesome. What an awesome night.
The Canadians hate us. It's because of pompous people like me saying stuff like that.
What's that? The Canadians?
Yeah. I said that's why Canadians hate us.
Yeah. That and they haven't acknowledged yet that they're really, they should be the 51st state. Did I just say that? No, I didn't say that, did I?
Wow, I'm not going there, man. Jeff said that for the record, okay? Yeah.
No. That's hilarious.
I love my maple syrup, my bacon, my poutine. Don't you go getting a trade war going with Canada now, okay?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. We don't need a trade war with Canada. Canada's an awesome place. Toronto, Montreal, all those great places up there. If you ever get a chance, definitely go visit Canada. And it's always good, too, when the Canadian dollar is, the exchange rate is favorable to us. The U.S. dollar definitely goes a long way up in Canada.
For those of you that cross over in Niagara Falls, I have to tell you, when you cross over, look up, just over the train tracks on the right, the wild mushroom. Oh, deep fried pickles to kill for.
How about the wild mushroom, like the pizza place?
No, it's called Wild Mushrooms Bar and Grill.
Okay.
Yeah. No pizza. Well, I don't know. They might have pizza. Who knows?
I don't know. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Scamming him.
We're scamming him. Who are we scamming? We're scamming Andrew Nation again?
Hey, next week we're gonna have a fundraiser for
scamming
him.
Or scaring? Are we scaring him or scamming him? I don't know. One or the other.
If he sees me, he's scared. I know. But don't scam him.
That's awesome. Fantastic. So, hey, how are you guys liking Trivia Night? I want to continue doing Trivia Night. We want to try to mix it up a little bit. Do you guys like the fact that we're sticking to XRP, or do you guys want us to mix it up and start adding in other digital asset and make it a little bit interesting? That could be fun, right?
Let me pick. Yeah.
How do you like that? So let's get a few comments here from the viewers. You know, who would like to see other than XRP? You know, we can mix it up a little bit more. Let's see. At 713 in the chat, I said UBRI. Okay. Dansky, we'll have to go back and look at the record. It's 7:13.
He's in a different
7:13.
time zone, so
Yeah, what time zone is he in? What the heck? We didn't start streaming until like 9 o'clock.
Oh wait, he's only 2/3 behind. Oh!
I'm looking here. I see UBRI, but that was after RippleWorks, the way it came out on the chat stream. So actually, WildStar did answer first, according to the official timestamp of the most trusty and reliable YouTube chat. So there we go. All right. So we got XRP. Love, whatever. I'm up for XRP, but try and let's see. WildStar, add movie trivia. How about Bitcoin movie or digital asset movie trivia? But we got XRP, and it's awesome. Except you're both scammers. Come on. You know what? Well, I'll tell you what, Andrew. When we started, before we got online, we said if Andrew shows up, let's just make sure that if he answers the question, whoever answers it after is actually before.
Technically, we told everyone when you log in, just hide. But
that's right. That was what we said first, but then that didn't work out. We're like, yeah, don't say anything, don't answer. Just kind of let him enter and pretend like he didn't actually enter. Just kidding. So, all right. So another awesome stream, another awesome trivia evening. We'll definitely do this again next Sunday. And Carl Lewis is saying, how about Bubba sing our outro?
That shows you what Carl Lewis thinks of you all.
Hey, yeah, good job on the singing. I'm gonna say Bubba, good job. I'm gonna say sincerely George, good job. I listened to your video today when I was walking early this morning. Good job on that. And it all started off with Farm Park.
Yeah,
Silhouette Park Farm in Australia. And so you guys all did a great job getting out there on singing. And so anyhow, I just wanted to.
Let's be honest. I didn't do a great job of singing. I just was gutsy enough to do it, and I said I'm going first and get this over with because I could see where it was going to go.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
People like Brad and Georgie and Chip showing up. I'm glad I'm done. You guys will forget about me by the time,
Right. Yeah, that was great. So anyhow, we went way past the 30-minute mark. I promise next Sunday we're going to stick to 30 minutes. Maybe we're going to have to go like 35 because we got to talk a little bit. We got to figure out how to get more people in the room faster when we first start off. So I'm going to make a commitment to send out the Twitter a little bit early, and then we need to put an announcement up on YouTube. But I'll tell you what, the easiest and fastest way to make sure you guys don't miss the YouTube trivia is to hit subscribe and hit the bell notification next to the subscribe, because anytime we launch a video or a live stream, you'll immediately be notified that we're going live. So how about that? So yeah. So
send something to 4 Musketeers. We'll send it out throughout the day or whatever.
That's right. Yep. So that's it. That's my take. What's yours? Bubba, why don't you take us out?
She bangs for XRP tonight.